Listen, you ever want to be like a sailor or fisherman for just like a day? Just go out. And I am just talking about on just no like excursion type. They go out and they do a little something and bring you back in. No, I'm talking about them guys that really be out there, really does this for weeks and months at a time and just see what it is they encounter, whether it be different kind of fish they come across that they've never seen before, what type of things they haul into the boat and experience and see. You know what I mean? No, me neither. No, I'm just playing. I don't want to be involved, but if I could sit like in the captain's booth and just watch them for like a hot little second, I don't want to stay out there weeks, but just watch them and see some of the stuff, man, I think that'd be pretty dope. All right, this next video, man, a sailor accidentally discovered this in the middle of the ocean. Let's check it out.
The mystique of water is best understood by fishermen and anglers, individuals who devote the majority of their time to these aquatic environments. For this reason, they're the ones who stumble upon the strangest and most unexpected things, from devilish sea creatures to bizarre tar balls. Here are 20 mysterious things found by sailors and fishermen. Number 20. Invisible fish. Imagine you're out at sea fishing when suddenly you reel in something utterly astonishing, a bizarre alien-like creature. This was the reality for this fisherman who recently caught a phronema, a small yet fascinating sea creature. Phronema, a member of the amphipod family, is a tiny crustacean related to shrimp, but these guys are much more bizarre. Despite its small size, usually no more than an inch long, it's quite distinct compared to similarly sized creatures. You see, one of the most striking features of phronema is its transparent body. This nifty camouflage skill helps it evade predators in the sunlit waters of the ocean. Ironically, these creatures being transparent makes them more noticeable and unique to us humans. Now, a little fun fact about these guys. The phronema has quite an interesting life cycle and hunting strategy. Females of this species are known for their unique way of nurturing their young. They catch a small barrel-shaped marine animal called a salp, use their mouth and claws to hollow it out, and then lay their eggs inside this gelatinous barrel. As the young hatch, the mother phronema propels the barrel through the water, bringing fresh food and water to her offspring. It's quite a sight to imagine this tiny, almost invisible creature diligently caring for its young in such a unique way. Before we go on, like this video?
That poses an interesting thought, though. You know what I mean? It says how it goes invisible to avoid predators and stuff like that. You ever wonder, like, I wonder how, like, fish, how their vision are compared to, like, other animals in the wild. Do fish have really good, great vision or no? I've never heard nobody talk about that. So when he said that, it kind of took me there.
Smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now. Number 19. Cormorant fishing. Cormorant fishing, an age-old tradition steeped in history and culture, has captivated people for over 1,300 years, particularly in Japan and China. This unique method, involving fishermen and trained cormorants, is definitely a bizarre sight for those unfamiliar with this technique. In China, especially along the Li River in the Guangxi region, cormorant fishing has been passed down for generations. Here, fishermen dressed in traditional attire use these trained birds to catch fish. It paints a serene scene, fishermen on bamboo rafts, with their cormorants perched nearby, working together as a team. But how do these birds remain obedient? Well, they're trained. Fishermen employ a methodical technique by tying a loose snare near the base of the cormorant's throat, allowing the bird to swallow small fish while preventing the ingestion of larger ones. The cormorant captures fish in its gullet, holding them temporarily until it returns to the boat. These birds are rewarded with every 8th fish they catch, a clever system that motivates them to keep hunting. The intricate process requires expertise, with cormorant fishing masters honing their skills for a minimum of 10 years. Meanwhile, in Japan, on the Nagara River, the practice is known as ukai. The fishermen, called usho, deeply connect with their cormorant companions. These usho, often from families practicing this for generations, care for their birds year-round, training them to be efficient hunters. At night, under the glow of lanterns, the cormorants diving for fish is quite a sight. However, the future of this tradition is uncertain. With modern fishing techniques and environmental changes, cormorant fishing is no longer a widely practiced method. Instead, it's become more of a tourist attraction, offering visitors a glimpse into an ancient way of life every year from May 11 to October 15. In the future, it just might be a tradition only seen in films and history books. Number 18. Conch Island. We have islands that boast white sand beaches, but did you know there's an island made up of conches? This is Conch Island. Well, it's not actually an island in the traditional sense, but a remarkable accumulation of conch shells discarded by fishermen over centuries. Located near Anegada, the second largest in the British Virgin Islands, this site is an intriguing tourist attraction and a sign of the long-standing popularity of conch meat in the Caribbean. The conch shells that make up this island come from the local fishermen's practice of discarding the shells after harvesting the meat. After all,
That's snail, right? So, because I'm saying that because we were down in Florida and my wife is from like down there. She's from Miami, right? And she loves conch meat. And I don't think I've tried it yet, but she had some this weekend in the way that they had and they were serving. And I was just interested on how they look or the shell. And to see all of this is insane. I'm gonna have to show her this.
conch meat is a staple in Caribbean cuisine, and the shells, known for their beauty, are often sold as souvenirs or used in jewelry. However, the shells at Conch Island, while striking from a distance, are often defaced due to the process of removing the conch meat, which involves making a hole in the shell. Interestingly, Conch Island isn't just a pile of shells, it's a historical record. Radiocarbon dating of some shells extracted from the bottom of the pile dates back to around AD 1245. This suggests that the indigenous Arawak people, who lived in Anegada thousands of years ago, also contributed to this conch shell accumulation. Modern-day fishing practices have continued to add to Conch Island, making it a more prominent tourist attraction. However, this has also led to concerns about the sustainability of conch populations in the Caribbean, with overharvesting putting the species at risk. Would you be interested in visiting this island if you got the chance? Number 17. Mummified remains. In 2016, locals on a small island in the Philippines encountered quite a dreadful surprise. One morning, local anglers came across a drifting yacht with a shocking discovery inside: the mummified remains of German sailor Manfred Fritz Bajorat. The mummified remains horrified not only the locals, but the whole world. The mystery of how the body ended up on the island continued until an investigation was initiated. It turned out that Bajorat was an experienced sailor who had spent over 2 decades navigating the world's oceans. His journey was a solitary one, especially after significant personal changes in his life, including a divorce and the death of his ex-wife. The yacht, named Seo, became his home and companion on the high seas. The condition in which Bajorat was found raised many questions. Initially, it appeared he had been dead for a long time, but a later autopsy revealed a startling fact. He had only been deceased for about a week. The dry, salty air of the sea had preserved his body in a state that resembled mummification. He was found slumped over a chart table, a poignant and haunting image of a sailor's last moments. Unfortunately, Bajorat spent his last moments alive alone, and most likely suffering in the middle of the ocean. Number 16. Monster Piranha. In 2016, a British angler embarked on a fishing expedition up the Congo River in Africa, leading to a remarkable and almost unbelievable catch. This angler, who also happens to host a TV show, encountered a massive and fearsome fish known as the Goliath tigerfish. This particular creature, often likened to a giant piranha, measured an impressive 5 feet in length and weighed about 100 pounds. Imagine that big of a catch. The Goliath tigerfish is notorious for its predatory nature, with 32...
Nah, bump that. Imagine some of these people that be out here noodling and like the catfish areas and stuff like that. Imagine this happened to be in there when you stick your hand in one of them holes trying to think you get a catfish and you run across this right here. Yeah. Bye-bye hand, bye-bye wrist, bye-bye all of this up in here. Look at his teeth, fam. Once he's set in, bro, it's over with. No.
Teeth, each as large as those of a great white shark. This fish is not only a formidable predator, but also a rare catch due to the danger it poses and the inaccessibility of its natural habitat. This fish is known for its aggression and strength, capable of attacking prey, including crocodiles and, in rare instances, humans. Needless to say, The British angler faced a daunting task in hauling in this giant fish. Due to its size and the danger it represented, the man had to exercise extreme caution, particularly when handling the fish, known for its powerful and potentially harmful bite. Number 15. Message in a bottle. Imagine taking a leisurely stroll along a French beach when you come across something extraordinary, a message in a bottle. This was the reality for Hubert Herriot, a 71-year-old retired fisherman in Les Sables d'Olonne, Vendée. What he found on August 11 just this year was no ordinary bottle. The message was sent in October 1997 by a 5th grade student named Ben from Sandwich, Massachusetts. As part of a science project, Ben and his classmates were learning about ocean currents. They sent messages in bottles into the Atlantic, hoping to see how far the currents would carry them. Little did they know, one would embark on a journey of over 2 decades and 3,300 miles. Herriot, upon finding the bottle, responded to Ben's message. This chance discovery connected 2 people from different continents and generations. The project, led by Ben's science teacher, Frederick J. Hamilla, aimed to provide practical insight into the ocean's mysterious ways. The bottles were initially set adrift 35 miles off the coast of Cape Cod. Over the years, responses came from far and wide, including Ireland, Wales, France, Morocco, and Greenland, each finding contributing to a global map of ocean currents traced by these tiny messengers. This has been my dream for so long, but hey, countless beaches later, and I'm yet to pick up a message in a bottle. Now, if you're interested in doing this, make sure to exercise caution. It's a fun activity, but too many bottles let out in the open sea might affect wildlife. Number 14. Basket star. This bizarre alien-looking creature is a basket star, an invertebrate that calls the ocean's rocky sea floor its home. This creature is found in various parts of the world, from the chilly depths off the United States west coast to the warmer waters of the North Pacific Ocean.
And those look small. Imagine one that has grown and matured over time that's bigger. And you'd be down there deep sea diving or something like that if you can go to those depths that they're at. If you're not, then don't worry about it. But if you can get to those depths, if they're not too far down, and you swim across one that is grown and it grab you and just hold you, what you gonna do at that point?
Regardless of where people spot them, they're often treated as bizarre creatures. Imagine a small creature with a central body no bigger than a few inches across. From this body, arms extend, but these are no ordinary arms. They branch out into a maze of smaller limbs, each with their own sub-branches covered in tiny barbs. Moreover, this intricate network of arms can span up to a couple of feet in length. The basket star's unique structure isn't just for show. It's a critical part of how it feeds. It uses its arms like a net, anchoring itself to the sea floor and catching small sea creatures like shellfish and jellyfish that drift by with the current. The barbs trap these prey and pull toward the basket star's mouth. But perhaps the most amazing thing about the basket star is its ability to regenerate its limbs if they're broken or damaged. This incredible feature ensures its survival in the harsh ocean environment, where it could quickly become prey itself. Now, doesn't this feature make this being more alien? Number 13. Rare sawfish. The sawfish is an incredibly rare and fascinating sea creature, and seeing one is quite a unique experience, even for seasoned fishermen. There are several reasons for their rarity. For one, sawfish have experienced a significant decline in recent decades. This drastic reduction in their population has led them to being listed as endangered or critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The primary reasons for their decline include overharvesting and accidental entanglement in fishing gear. The unique saw-like snout of the sawfish, which is edged with special teeth, often gets entangled in fishing nets, making them particularly vulnerable to bycatch. As a result, their numbers have been steadily decreasing. What's more, habitat loss has played a significant role in their decline. Sawfish prefer shallow coastal waters and are known to swim into freshwater river systems, habitats that are increasingly being impacted by human activities. The destruction of mangrove forests, which serve as crucial nursery habitats for young sawfish, has particularly affected their numbers. The sawfish's rostrum is not only a unique feature, but also an aspect that has made them targets for hunting. Their fins are used in shark fin soup, their teeth and saws are sought after as souvenirs, and parts of them are used in traditional medicine. On the brighter side, Conservation efforts have been made to protect the sawfish. In the United States, for instance, sawfish caught accidentally are required to be released, and violations can lead to hefty fines. Unfortunately, despite these efforts, the rarity of sawfish sightings continues, mainly due to the limited remaining strongholds of sawfish populations, which are now primarily found in northern Australia and Florida. Number 12. Pumice Raft. In August 2019, a remarkable phenomenon was witnessed in the Pacific Ocean, a vast floating raft of pumice stone. This raft covered an area of approximately 150 square kilometers, equivalent to more than 3 times the size of Manhattan Island in New York City. But what exactly is this pumice raft? Well, it's not exactly a raft, but rather the product of volcanic activity. Volcanic eruptions, particularly those occurring underwater, can produce massive amounts of pumice, a lightweight porous volcanic rock. Pumice is known for its ability to float due to the air bubbles trapped within it when the lava cools and solidifies rapidly.
I know a lot of y'all be like, I forgot about the volcanoes underwater. Me too sometimes. So when you get that reminder, you be like, that's something else for us to worry about on this planet. Underwater volcanoes. Yeah, it's a thing. It's true.
In this case, the source of the pumice raft was identified as an eruption from the Havre Seamount, an underwater volcano. The eruption, which took place on July 19, 2012, was so significant that it formed a new volcanic cone at the seamount. The pumice rocks were expelled to the ocean surface and formed a sizable floating mass. The discovery of such a large pumice raft has not only fascinated sailors and scientists, but also sparked interest in the broader scientific community. Pumice rafts can drift for weeks to years, slowly dispersing into the ocean currents. These floating rocks can serve as drifting homes for sea organisms, aiding in the spread of marine life across vast distances. Unfortunately, this also includes invasive creatures. Seeing these pumice floaters is not a common occurrence. In addition to their geological significance, they also provide unique opportunities for scientists to study ocean currents, marine life distribution, and the aftermath of volcanic eruptions. Number 11. Giant lobster. Imagine a lobster so large that it weighs more than a hefty Thanksgiving turkey. In fact, almost 3 times as much. That's right, the largest lobster ever discovered was caught off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada in 1977, and it was an actual sea giant. This lobster tipped the scales at an incredible 44 pounds and 6 ounces. If you're more used to the metric system, that's a staggering 20.14 kilograms. And to show you just how large this lobster was, it was almost the weight of an average 3-year-old child. However, even though lobsters can get really big, they aren't the mythical, immortal creatures some stories make them out to be. Yes, they grow throughout their lives, which means they can get quite large if they live long enough. But like all creatures, they do have a lifespan. They keep growing by shedding their hard outer shell, known as molting. Each time they molt, they get a bit bigger. It's quite a process, but as they age, it takes more energy to do so. Eventually, they reach a point where they can't molt anymore, which often limits their lifespan. Number 10. Air pocket survivor. Harrison O'Keefe's story of survival is nothing short of miraculous. In 2013, while working as a cook on a boat, O'Keefe experienced a harrowing ordeal that tested the limits of human endurance and resilience. The ship he was on capsized and sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, about 100 feet deep. Remarkably, O'Keefe found himself in an air pocket within the ship's bathroom, which became his lifeline. Trapped in this small space, wearing only his underwear, O'Keefe had to battle not just the fear and uncertainty of his situation, but also the physical challenges. The cold, dark waters threatened hypothermia, and he had no food or water. His only companions were the sounds of fish nibbling on something outside near the sunken vessel, a constant reminder of the precariousness of his situation. For nearly 3 days, O'Keefe remained in this pocket of air, praying and hoping for a miracle. His prayers were answered when a team of divers sent to recover bodies discovered him alive. The rescue, however, was far from straightforward. Due to the extended time he spent at depth, O'Keefe required careful decompression to avoid the bends, a condition caused by rapid changes in pressure. The rescue team had to switch O'Keefe to a mix of oxygen and helium to counteract the buildup of CO2 in his body, and then guide him to a diving bell, and later, a decompression chamber. Throughout this process, O'Keefe, who had never dived before, showed remarkable composure and adaptability. His survival is attributed to a combination of sheer luck, his will to live, and the professionalism of the rescue team. O'Kane suffered from PTSD, but showed immense courage by eventually becoming a certified commercial diver. Number 9.
Glad they sent experienced people to go get him. Because most people going to get you, going to pull you right up out of there and take you straight to the top. But no, you can't do that. And I'm glad to hear this because I didn't know that. I'd have been like, yo, get me out of here. But you got to go through certain steps before you can get to the top. Like, man, fam. And then that just goes to show you that when it ain't your time, it ain't your time.
Noodling. Imagine wading into a river, reaching into the murky water, and using only your bare hands to catch a massive catfish. That's noodling for you, an extreme form of fishing that's controversial and deeply rooted in tradition. Here's how it goes down. During the warmer months, specifically the catfish spawning season, noodlers head to the water. Catfish, in preparation for spawning, make their nests in various underwater hideouts like holes in riverbanks, under logs, or even in man-made structures. The noodler then sticks their hand into these potential nesting spots. If a catfish is inside, it might mistake the hand for a predator and bite down. That's the noodler's cue to grab the fish, often by the gills or mouth, and wrestle it out of the water. However, catfish noodling isn't without its risks and controversies. For the noodler, dangers include drowning, especially when diving deep, and complications from the catfish's bite. There's also the chance of encountering other hazardous creatures like venomous snakes, or worse, snapping turtles in the same habitats. For this reason, noodling is banned in several states in the United States. Even so, catfish noodling remains a beloved tradition in some regions, often passed down.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'll sit and watch it all day, all day long, man. It's just like swamp people watching them capture the gators. I'll sit and watch that all day long. That noodling. But just the mind frame to go up under in murky water, man, and like they said, run up against maybe a snapping turtle or a snake or something like that. Y'all crazy. They crazy, which makes for great entertainment.
Down through generations. This hands-on approach to fishing is what keeps enthusiasts coming back for more, despite the risks and debates surrounding it. Number 8. Devil shark. I don't know about you, but there's something unsettling about this shark. The deep-sea angler caught this small creature, and ever since, this specimen has been the subject of much discussion due to its unique and somewhat eerie appearance. Caught about 2,100 feet below the ocean's surface, this shark stands out for its bulging eyes and bizarre human-like smile. The photo shared by the angler on social media shows the shark with its prominent blue-green eyes and a set of razor-sharp teeth arranged to resemble a human smile. An eerie human smile, might I add. The shark's appearance led to various guesses about its species, with suggestions ranging from a cookie-cutter shark to a rough-skinned shark. However, the angler clarified that it was not a cookie-cutter shark, but rather a rough-skinned shark commonly found in depths greater than 2,000 feet. Experts have also provided different opinions regarding the identification of this shark. Some believe it could be a sleeper shark closely related to the Endeavour dogfish, while others suggest it might be a deep-water kitefin shark known as Delatius lata. There's also a possibility that this could be a new species altogether, as deep-sea research often leads to the discovery of previous unknown creatures. The deep sea is a realm filled with many mysteries and unique creatures, and this devilish shark is no exception. Number 7. Monstrous antlers. Imagine fishing and suddenly hauling in antlers. Not fish, but monstrous antlers. This was the plot twist of Raymond McElroy and his assistant Charlie Coyle's fishing trip in Lough Neagh, Northern Ireland. The duo pulled up something truly unexpected from the depths of the freshwater lake. A set of enormous antlers still attached to a skull. It sounds like a terrifying discovery, and while it must have been shocking, the two probably felt ecstatic after noticing the value of their catch. After all, what they caught wasn't an ordinary antler, but the remains of an Irish elk, which has been extinct for about 10,500 years. The Irish elk was an impressive creature, and the antlers McElroy and Coyle found were about 6 feet across. This species, despite its name, was actually a type of deer. In fact, the largest deer to have ever existed. The name Irish elk comes from the frequent discovery of their fossils in Ireland's lakes and bogs, which help preserve the bones. These majestic animals once roamed throughout Europe, North Africa, and Asia. The skull and antlers are believed to be significant due to their size, demonstrating the stature of the male members of this species. Such discoveries underscore the dramatic changes that have occurred in our environment over thousands of years and how they've impacted wildlife. Number 6. Electric clam. Electric clams are among the most bizarre creatures in the ocean, found in the warm tropical waters of the Indo-Pacific region. These clams are known for their unique ability to put on a spectacular light show. This display is created not by bioluminescence, as is common with many marine organisms, but through reflection. The clams possess special tissues in their mantle filled with silica nanospheres, reflecting light to create a strobing effect. This light show is more than just an underwater spectacle. It serves a crucial survival function. The flashing is considered a defense mechanism, deterring predators like the mantis shrimp. Interestingly, electric clams can also release acidic mucus, providing an additional layer of protection against threats. Despite their fascinating abilities, electric clams, like many other coral reef dwellers, face challenges due to environmental changes. The health of coral reefs, vital to their survival, is threatened by the changing ocean and other ecological shifts. This makes the future of these unique creatures uncertain. Number 5. Flashlight fish. Flashlight fish, with their captivating bioluminescent features, are truly amazing ocean creatures. These fish are characterized by luminescent organs located just below their eyes. They are one of the few non-deep-sea fish species to possess such organs.
Don't worry, I'm thinking the same thing. Is this a result of some type of toxic chemical getting in the water and producing all of these flashlight fish? Like, we don't need to eat these, do we? Can we eat these? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to try it. I mean, because I just can't get toxic chemical. This is the direct result of some type of chemical or some type of something being put in the water. I don't know what.
It's easy to see how these guys obtained their name. The light produced by flashlight fish is continuous, thanks to bioluminescent bacteria that reside in these organs. However, each species has its unique way of controlling this luminescence. Some create a blinking effect as they swim by alternately covering and uncovering the light. This ability is not just for show, it plays a crucial role in their survival. The flashlight fish use their luminescent organs for various purposes, such as communication within their species, evading predators, and attracting prey. Found in tropical marine habitats of the Indo-Pacific region and the Caribbean, these fish are relatively small, with the largest species reaching a maximum length of about 1 foot. Number 4. The ningen. The ningen is a mythical creature from modern Japanese folklore, described as an aquatic humanoid or whale-like creature inhabiting subantarctic oceans. Originating from a 2007 post on a Japanese online forum, it was reportedly sighted by crew members of a whale research ship. Descriptions vary, with some depicting it as having a humanoid face and large limbs or arms, and others as a smaller terrestrial being. Skepticism surrounds these accounts, with some attributing sightings to icebergs or other sea creatures. Interestingly, the existence of such cryptids often sparks curiosity and debates about undiscovered species. Similar to how the once-thought mythical platypus turned out to be real, it raises questions about the possibility of undiscovered creatures in our vast oceans. The platypus, with its duck-like bill and mammalian traits, was initially dismissed as a hoax when discovered, but later confirmed as a real animal. With that being said, there's still a large possibility that the ningen really exists beneath the ocean waves. Now, isn't that quite the horrifying possibility? Number 3. The giant squid. The giant squid, Archaechutus dux, has fascinated humans for centuries due to its massive size and elusive nature. It wasn't until the mid-19th century that the existence of this deep ocean-dwelling creature began to be accepted by the scientific community. One of the earliest documented encounters with a giant squid occurred in 1861, when a French warship encountered an 18-foot specimen near the Canary Islands. Another notable encounter happened in 1875 off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. A giant squid reportedly attacked a small fishing boat, and a boy on board severed one of its tentacles with a tomahawk. The 19-foot tentacle was brought ashore and became the first part of a...
Did he say a 19-foot tentacle? 19 foot. Oh, ain't nothing we can do with no huge squid, bro. If there was ever thought in your mind that you was gonna escape it, fam, you're not escaping no 19-inch tentacle. I'm sorry.
A giant squid to be formally examined on land. This period, from around 1870 to 1890, saw an unprecedented number of giant squid corpses washing up on Newfoundland beaches, greatly advancing our understanding of the squid's anatomy. The giant squid's habitat is widespread, encompassing the world's oceans, particularly near continental and island slopes. It's found from the North Atlantic Ocean, especially around Newfoundland and Norway, to the South Atlantic around southern Africa, and in the North and Southwestern Pacific around Japan, New Zealand, and Australia. Giant squid can grow to an enormous size, with recent estimates putting females at around 39 to 42 feet and males at around 32 feet. The first images of a giant squid in its natural habitat were captured in 2004 by a Japanese team. This was a groundbreaking moment as it provided the first direct visual proof of the creature's existence in its natural environment. Despite advances in our understanding, many aspects of the giant squid's life remain mysterious. For example, its lifespan, behavior, and reproductive habits are still subjects of scientific inquiry and debate. The giant squid continues to captivate the imagination of both scientists and the public. Number 2. Frilled shark. The frilled shark, a creature often described as a living fossil, is one of the most bizarre and mysterious inhabitants of the ocean's depths. This creature is known for its eel-like serpentine body, which can grow up to 7 feet. Its mouth is lined with 300 trident-shaped teeth arranged in 25 rows, making it a formidable predator, especially when it comes to squid. Rarely seen by humans due to its deep-sea habitat, the frilled shark has a gestation period of up to 3.5 years, one of the longest of any vertebrate. Despite its infrequent encounters with humans and its status as near-threatened, the frilled shark continues to captivate scientists. And now, it's time for today's topic. A sailor accidentally discovered this in the middle of the ocean, and he was quite surprised. He discovered this semi-submerged yacht, and he found something more intriguing in what remained of it. In a hidden compartment was a sack of cash. Of course, it garnered a lot of suspicion. Who did the yacht belong to? What happened to them? And why was such wealth abandoned at sea? The answer seemed to have sunk with the yacht. Now it's up to you whether you'd see this find as a tale of fortune or the beginning of a curse. But if you were the one who stumbled upon such a discovery, would you take the money or would you leave it to the authorities? Let me know what you think in the comments.
That's one of them questions right there, bro. That's one of them questions. It all depends on where you're at in life, what allows you to sleep at night. You know what I mean? So you can mess around and stumble upon a boat owned by the cartel, something like that, the mob, you know. And then you're thinking, okay, nobody sees me. But in the day and time where cameras are everywhere, including somebody passing by in the ocean that you didn't see, caught you on camera. Now your face is out there. Now you got to live the rest of your life on the run. That's the way my mind thinks.
Number 1. Tar balls. Tar balls on Texas beaches are among the most mysterious phenomena over the past few years. These small, dark clumps of oil are often found on shorelines and can be a nuisance to beachgoers. In Texas, the source of these tar balls is generally believed to come from offshore petroleum production, drilling, and marine transportation activities, which include discharges from vessels pumping bilges and cleaning tanks. Natural seepage from the ocean floor is also considered a source. The appearance of tar balls can vary, and their presence on beaches is influenced by wind and ocean currents. In Texas, the loop current waters in the Straits of Florida flow close to the southeast Florida coastline, which can bring high concentrations of weathered oil on shore. While tar balls are not typically harmful, they can be a nuisance, especially if they stick to skin or clothing. So if you ever see black round balls, you're better off avoiding them.